Ali, Kasama, Mansa, Solwezi, and Mongo. Feel free to interact with us and let us know where you are watching from. Only on your Top Star Decoders Channel 91, Sun FM TV. Radio Gone Rogue. Radio Gone TV.
A new dawn is upon us, with great opportunities and a new hope for our future. Have you considered advertising your business on Sun FM TV with our surprisingly affordable rates? When you advertise on Sun FM TV, you'll also get free equivalent radio advertising spots or shoutouts on Sun FM Radio. For more details, call us on +260 961 205 967 or +260 212 615 341. Email marketing@sunfmzambia.net. It's a new dawn of new affordable advertising packages on Zambia's first and finest visual radio, reaching over 5 million people across the whole country. If you're not advertising on Sun FM TV, then you're probably not being heard or seen. Come on board and advertise with us. Everyone's not only listening, everyone is watching.
Imagine having the financial freedom to live life on your terms. With the ABSA Ultimate Plus account, you can manage your finances, save for the future, and access personal loans. Plus, enjoy travel insurance, a credit card, and retrenchment cover when the unexpected happens. If that's not value, I don't know what is. Let's help you write the next chapter of your ultimate story. Call 5950 to open an Ultimate Plus account today.
Your story matters. ABSA. The news.
Hello and welcome to Sun FM News. The headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema says his recent lack of international travel was out of respect for the funeral of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Lungu, emphasizing the nation's need to conclude this period of mourning. Livingston Mayor Constance Nalishewo Muleavai has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of corrupt practices with a private body. The Community Action Against Corruption has called for independent, transparent and professionally conducted investigations into all corruption allegations regardless of political affiliation. The Zambia Under-20 Women's National Team has stormed into the semi-finals of the 2025 COSAFA Under-20 Women's Region 5 Youth Games with a perfect record following a commanding 8-0 victory over Eswatini. Join me for the details shortly.
Sun FM.
With the details, my name is Kayla Brister. President Hakainde Hichilema says his recent lack of international travel was out of respect for the funeral of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Lungu, emphasizing the nation's need to conclude this period of mourning. Speaking at State House during a meeting with the United States Ambassador to Zambia, Michael Gonzalez, President Hichilema clarified his decision to remain in the country to honor the departed leader. He disclosed that over the past month, he has delegated government officials to represent him at international events. The head of state also urged the United States to collaborate with Zambia in establishing joint ventures, particularly in mineral processing. This initiative aims to enable Zambia to export finished products rather than raw materials, a key priority for his administration focused on value addition. President Hichilema further reiterated Zambia's commitment to maintaining strong bilateral relations with the United States. He added that his government respects the evolving U.S. aid policies and is dedicated to fulfilling its responsibilities to the Zambian people.
We've been joined by the Minister of Infrastructure, who represented me at the Rovito meeting and the U.S. Business Forum in Angola. If you notice, in the last 1 month, I've not been traveling outside, man, even inside, because of the funeral that we need to put to bed. It's a decision I've taken. I don't want to be misunderstood by fellow citizens. So the minister went to represent me and the minister of transport at the Rovito corridor. I think they had good meetings, met some US, and I chose to stay around. I'm just repeating this so that we can find closure to this funeral. We can't have a situation like this. It's really unnecessary. It's not the way we respect the dead in our culture, African culture. I believe many cultures. So we're looking for a solution in that direction. Quietly, we're talking to each other.
Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador to Zambia Michael Gonzalez underscored the necessity of translating agreements into action regarding business deals between the two nations.
This opportunity for us to come together to review the U.S.-Zambia bilateral relationship. A relationship that I think to date has underperformed our potential. We have a history of huge amounts of development assistance that has failed to spur systemic development despite massive potential across this economy and nation. The business environment has not succeeded in attracting American businesses.
Additionally, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Mlambo Haimbe emphasized the significance of effective communication with diplomatic partners to strengthen international ties.
Areas that we agreed was the need for communication, more effective communication between ourselves and our partners, of course, including the U.S. The idea is that with increased communication, certain areas which need quick intervention in our relationship and in matters that are of mutual concern to the two countries would quickly be addressed.
Livingstone Mayor Constance Nalishebo-Mleawai has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of corrupt practices with a private body. She appeared before Lusaka Principal Magistrate Trevor Kasanda, who is currently presiding in Livingstone. Ms. Mleawai, 49, faces 2 charges under Section 20, Cap 1, read with Section 41A of the Anti-Corruption Commission Act No. 3 of 2012. In the first count, it is alleged that between August 1 and September 31, 2023, while serving as mayor of Livingstone, Ms. Mleawai solicited 120,000 kwacha from Mark Gabites of Zamnuka Farm Limited. This money was allegedly requested as an inducement to facilitate a full remission of property rates owed by the company to the Livingstone City Council. In the second count, she is accused of corruptly receiving 180,000 kwacha from Mr. Gabites as gratification to omit or waive the aforementioned property rates owed by Zamnuka Farm Limited. Ms. Mleawai pleaded not guilty to all charges against her. The trial was scheduled to commence today but has been adjourned to tomorrow after the state informed the court of its unpreparedness to proceed. The Community Action Against Corruption (CAAC) has voiced concerns regarding the recent conviction of former Kasama Central Member of Parliament Kelvin Sampa. The organization is questioning the integrity and fairness of the current anti-corruption campaign. Executive Director Brighton Tembo argued that the conviction does little to demonstrate impartiality in the administration's fight against corruption. Mr. Tembo explained that Mr. Sampa was predominantly aligned with the former Patriotic Front regime, only becoming loosely associated with the current government in recent years. He further challenged whether such a conviction would have occurred had Mr. Sampa been a long-standing member of the ruling party, suggesting that political affiliations continue to influence prosecutorial decisions. He also criticized the Anti-Corruption Commission for what he described as a highly selective and politically biased approach to justice. He added that data from the Economic and Financial Crimes Court indicates that over 95% of active cases involve individuals associated with the former regime.
If you look at Kelvin Sampa has strong roots in the previous regime. He only became an active member of the current regime after 2021. So his conviction cannot be used that the fight against corruption is not selective. We feel it is still very much selective. And if you want to get part of the statistics showing that the current fight against corruption is selective, you go to the Economic and Financial Crimes Court. The court, which as at now is attending to over 90% of the cases which the court is attending to, they are cases coming from those who served in the previous regime. And this is not an indication that there is no corruption going on in the current regime. It is only that the Anti-Corruption Commission is not willing to investigate the emerging corruption in the current regime.
Former Ndola District Commissioner Joseph Piri has characterized his recent transfer to Kalulushi as a demotion, expressing his dissatisfaction and asserting that the decision did not originate directly from the president. In an interview with Sun FM TV News, Mr. Piri alleged that the transfer was orchestrated by individuals with selfish interests who were displeased with his diligent work ethic in the district. Mr. Piri's concerns arose following a handover ceremony that occurred in his absence, where supporters escorted the newly appointed Ndola District Commissioner Precious Njekwa. He described the scene as demeaning, citing chants targeting him, and stated he felt compelled to withdraw to avoid confrontation. Meanwhile, the newly appointed District Commissioner for Ndola, Precious Njekwa, affirmed her capability for the role and pledged to work collaboratively with the people of Ndola. Residents of Chipembi in Chisamba constituency, Central Province, are frustrated with the deplorable condition of the Kabwe Chipembi road, which they say is almost impossible to use when it rains. Those who spoke to Sun FM TV News reported that the deteriorating road network is hindering the movement of goods and hammering the local economy. The area gets over 950 millimeters of rain each year, with the heaviest downpours from December to February, making the road especially dangerous during those months.
This is the current state of the Chipembi-Kawe Road in Chisamba constituency, Central Province. The deplorable condition of the road has angered residents as it becomes impassable during the rainy season.
Chipembi wapenga maningi ya road siopenga maningi makamaka chindi cha mensa
And a clergyman in the area, Douglas Chisenga, has called on government to quickly rehabilitate the road, saying the community has suffered for a long time.
We are there. In your national we are leaders. That's the question we are asking ourselves. Nothing is happening. I want this message to reach the president. We need a road.
Meanwhile, a local businessman, Muzungu Monga, has assured residents that their concerns will be forwarded to the relevant authorities.
So we are here. Let's look at somewhere else. Thank you so much for coming in this church. I remember in 1999, I think there was an event around here.
Justin Banda, Sun FM TV News, Central Province.
Mufumbwe Mining and Suppliers Multi-Purpose Cooperative Society Chairperson Edwin Pata has advised the government to consider working with already formalized cooperatives in the Kikonge Gold site. Mr. Pata explained that this approach is practical because the process of formalizing cooperatives can be time-consuming. He noted that in their own case, it took 3 months for their cooperative to receive formal recognition and certification. Mr. Pata emphasized that local cooperatives should be prioritized in Kikonge Gold operations, which will directly address unemployment and poverty levels.
The immediate solution to this particular problem in Kikonge would be an appeal on my part to the government to consider an already formalized structure, because by and large we already have the documentation in place. All we need is ZEMA certificate and artisanal certificate, which can easily be obtained if the avenue is provided and if the platform is easily made available.
The Independent Churches Association of Zambia, ICOZ, has firmly rejected calls to abolish the National Day of Prayer, Fasting, Repentance and Reconciliation, describing such demands as baseless and lacking national consensus. Speaking to Sun FM TV News, ICOZ President Bishop David Masupa expressed concern over what he termed the politicization of the day, particularly in light of recent controversies surrounding the funeral of former President Edgar Lungu. Bishop Masupa emphasized that the Day of Prayer transcends politics and has been instrumental in promoting national values and unity. He noted that this was the very reason President Lungu established the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs in 2015, a move aimed at institutionalizing moral and spiritual renewal.
It has got national values and principles. And these values, most of them, Zambia being a Christian nation, are drawn from Christianity values. And that being the case, Zambia being declared a Christian nation in isolation without activating it with events such as National Day of Prayer, with events such as even putting a ministry there, like Edgar Chagwalungu declared a Ministry of National.
A pharmaceutical expert has cautioned the public against the misuse of azithromycin during the ongoing influenza outbreak, stressing that the flu is a viral infection, not a bacterial one. In an interview with Sun FM TV News, Jeremy Kanyika clarified that azithromycin is only effective in treating secondary bacterial infections that may accompany the flu, not the virus itself. He commended government for acknowledging the seriousness of the outbreak, which has seen a rise in respiratory infections across the country. Mr. Kanyika urged citizens to stay warm and use appropriate remedies, while warning against self-prescribing antibiotics, as misuse could worsen health outcomes and contribute to the growing burden of antimicrobial resistance.
For members of the public to self-prescribe themselves the medication. There is nowhere where it is okay for members of the public to self-prescribe the medication. No, because there are other conditions that they may have, which may not be required to use azithromycin, or which may make, once they take azithromycin, their condition may worsen. No wonder we always advise them to seek medical attention from well-qualified personnel as compared to self-prescribe them.
This is Sun FM Radio and TV News. We now take a break. After the break, sports news.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
In sports, the Zambia Under-20 women's national team has stormed into the semi-finals of the 2025 COSAFA Under-20 Women's Region 5 Youth Games with a perfect record following a commanding 8-0 victory over Eswatini. The young Copper Queens finished top of Group B with 9 points after posting 3 wins in the process. The Charity Ntaladriod side dominated Group B, evidenced by the 21 goals scored thus far, and they are yet to concede in this year's tournament. In more sports news, as Zambian Premier League MTN Super League side Zesco United has announced the acquisition of 4 new players to bolster the squad for the upcoming 2025-2026 MTN Super League and Total Energies CAF Confederations Cup. According to a statement issued, club media and public relations officer Verita Muyunda, 28-year-old Chipolopolo midfielder Kelvin Mubanga Kampamba rejoins the Ndola-based side from Al Madina SC of Libya after signing a 2-year contract. Just like Kampamba, 32-year-old defender Kabaso Chongo has also committed his career to Zesco United for 24 months after divorcing Kabwe Warriors Football Club. The 9-time Zambian club football champions have also confirmed procuring the services of 27-year-old striker Alekwe Chijioke from Aqua United in Nigerian top flight. Chijioke is joined by compatriot 25-year-old winger Afoni Pepo from Oman's top flight side SAR SC. The Nigerian duo have since put ink to paper after they agreed to be based in Ndola for 2 years. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema says his recent lack of international travel was out of respect for the funeral of the late 60th Republican President Edgar Lungu, emphasizing the nation's need to conclude this period of mourning. Livingstone Mayor Constance Nalishebo Mleavai has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of corrupt practices with a private body. The Community Action Against Corruption has called for independent, transparent and professionally conducted investigations into all corruption allegations regardless of political affiliation. In sports, the Zambia Under-20 women's national team has stormed into the semi-finals of the 2025 COSAFA Under-20 Women's Region 5 Youth Games with a perfect record following a commanding 8-0 victory over Eswatini. And that's the news. On behalf of the entire Sun FM news crew, my name is Skylar Brister. Keep listening.
Sun FM.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10 pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 200.